Totally Red.
Good evening and welcome to the 2023 Raddies Red Carpet Pre-Show live here at Decorators Warehouse. I'm your host, Jerry D, and I'm thrilled to be joined by the always fashionable Charlyn Lewis from Take a Chic Peek. Charlyn, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, Jerry, I'm feeling fabulous. The Raddies are always one of my favorite events of the year. You know, it may sound a little bit cliche, but I really think it's true that you can just feel the excitement and anticipation growing already, leading up to tonight's festivities.
Yes, there's absolutely a buzz in the air. The activity's happening, people are coming through. The nominees, hosts, and their guests will make their way down the red and green carpet in just moments. And Mother Nature so far has been cooperative, even though my allergies have hit me kind of hard today, so excuse my voice here. But it's in the low 60s with some nice cloud coverage, so, you know, the stars will be shining bright and will be comfortable as they make their way out of their cars and down this carpet.
The stars are definitely aligned, weather-wise at least. And before we go any further, we should take a look at the famous carpet, the red and green carpet. The Academy made a change to make it both red and green to really emphasize the Christmas connection.
Really driving it home. I think we can all agree on that. And we'll be bringing you our special coverage on the carpet and on our nominees here. If you haven't had a chance to listen to all the nominated episodes and performances, don't worry, we'll bring you up to speed.
Yes, and we'll also have exclusive interviews with the nominees coming up. And of course, those Raddies fashions. I can't wait to see what all of our favorite stars are wearing tonight.
Same here, Charlyn. And speaking of fashion, I have to say, you're looking absolutely stunning tonight.
Oh, stop it, Jerry. You're making me blush, but thank you. I have to give credit to my incredible glam team.
Well, you know, they definitely did a fantastic job. Now, let's talk about the red and green carpet tonight. Who are you most excited to see?
Oh, there's so many amazing nominees this year, but I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Julia Colburn is wearing tonight. She always takes risks on the red carpet, and I love that about her.
Yeah, Julia is definitely a fashion icon. She'll, of course, be arriving later, just before the show starts. But what about the guys? Who do you think will bring their A game tonight?
Well, I think we can always count on the likes of Tim Babb and Adam Seiden to bring some serious style to the red carpet. But I'm also excited to see what some of the newcomers will be wearing tonight.
Absolutely. There are so many rising stars who are making a splash in the Christmas Podcast Network right now. But speaking of making a splash, I have to ask, who do you think will have the most memorable red carpet moments tonight?
That's a tough one, but I have a feeling that Danielle Clark might do something unexpected tonight. She's always full of surprises.
I definitely agree with you there. Danielle is one of the most exciting and unpredictable stars out there. Well, it actually looks like we're about ready to kick off the pre-show. Charlyn, any final thoughts before we get started?
Just that I'm so excited to be here with you, Jerry, and I can't wait to see what kind of fashion moments we'll be talking about for weeks to come.
Me too, Charlyn. Well, let's get this party started. Okay, everyone, have a snack, grab a drink, and, you know, go ahead and grab that Raddies scoreboard. We're just getting started right now.
Yummy fruity pebbles in our bowls. Oh, here comes you know who. Yabba dabba fruit, delicious do. Ho, 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 I'm hungry. Santa, my pebbles. Your pebbles. 'Tis the season to be sharing, Fred. Happy holidays, pal. Oh, Fred. Fruity and Cocoa Pebble cereals, part of this nutritious breakfast. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, so like we said, all the stars are shining tonight, and here's one joining us right now. He's the creator of Holly Jolly Xmas, and he's been nominated for 3 Raddies tonight. Please welcome Scott Leopold.
Scott, it's great to have you here. Congratulations on your nominations.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Charlyn. Thanks for having me.
Scott, tell us about your nominated episodes. You have one for Raddest Music episode and Raddest Ensemble episode for a very special Christmas with all the other various artists. You also have a Raddest Miscellaneous episode for MTV with Ken Kessler. Which one are you most excited about?
They were both a lot of fun to record. The Very Special Christmas was a blast just because there were so many different guests on at the same time. But I really love talking about the old MTV episode or the old MTV videos with Ken. That it brought back a lot of fantastic memories, and I think we just had a blast with that one.
That sounds amazing. Now, can you tell us a little bit about what you're wearing on the red and green carpet tonight?
Well, Jerry, as I promised you, I took my inspiration from Heidi Klum, who had her lifelike earthworm outfit back around Halloween last year, and I decided to make a lifelike Christmas tree worm outfit, which, is fitting with the theme. This 60-pound crown on top of my head is a little difficult holding up the fans. I think I tore a muscle or two, but I really wanted to stick with the spirit of things, and Heidi gave me such an inspiration. I didn't want to let you down.
Well, it's definitely an interesting choice there. What was the biggest challenge you faced while creating those episodes that you're nominated for?
I can't really think of any real challenges. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was great subject matter, and it all came pretty easily. I think the hardest thing was probably with the MTV episode, just picking a favorite from the different videos.
There were some wild ones, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a lot of fun making these episodes. So what's next for your podcast?
Well, I just finished a string of episodes. I had 2 in March for Women's History Month, Hideki Kojima and Mieko Hirota, 2 fantastic musicians. Mieko Hirota being one of the most notable singers of the 1960s. My special April 1st episode came out about 2 weeks ago, and I've got a couple other great episodes lined up for the rest of April.
Right on. Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing what you come up with next. And finally, before we let you go, we have to ask, how much did your outfit cost? I'm just curious. I know that's we're not supposed to say that, but it just looks like $1 million.
Yes.
Considering all the latex and tinsel, I kind of had to break the bank on it.
Yeah.
I'd really prefer not to give the total.
We respect that.
Yeah,
well, you look
definitely
fantastic. Thank you for
you.
joining us tonight, Scott, and good luck for your nominations.
Yeah, good luck, Scott.
Yep, thanks a lot.
And so coming down the red carpet, our next guest is a multiple nominee tonight, Art Kilmer from A Cozy Christmas, nominated for the Raddies Christmas TV show episode for MacGyver with Joe Martinez and Raddies book episode. Art, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. It's truly an honor to be nominated. This year, I think this is the most nominations I've had in 1 year, so that's pretty exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. So, Art, let's start with your nomination for the Raddies Christmas TV show episode. What was it like working on MacGyver with Joe Martinez?
It was a ton of fun. Joe and I just really hit it off. We have this great love for MacGyver, and it brought up all the feelings of nostalgia that were long dormant, and revisiting that inspired me to go back and start watching some old episodes, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Nothing better than winding down your day with an episode of MacGyver, rocking that awesome haircut that only the 1980s can rock.
Well, of course, that makes me feel wonderful knowing that you had a good time. But what can you tell us about the episode itself? Like, what made it so rad?
Just talking about the themes of what that episode was about, the MacGyver episode, about a little bit about faith, a little bit about believing in others, and not taking people at face value. There's might be more to someone than what it seems. And I love the little touch of Christmas magic sprinkled throughout the episode. It was awesome.
Yeah, that does sound like a perfect Christmas episode. Now let's move on to your 2 nominations for the Raddies book episode. Which books were they, and what made them so rad?
Well, it was the Hardy Boys, and I mean that should be just self-explanatory. The Hardy Boys are awesome. Their books are what inspired me to read and become such a crazy bookworm that I am today. So I again got to revisit some an older Christmas book of the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew together in one book. It was like the Avengers of the 1980s,
The book
so that
Avengers.
was a lot of yes. That was a lot of fun.
And I think the other one was for Hercule Poirot's Christmas, if I believe.
That's right. Yeah. I couldn't. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I should know. I was there. When you get as many nominations as I do, they tend to blur together. But
No.
yeah.
Yes.
Hercule Poirot, his Christmas novel. What a good story that was too. I'm never going to be as smart as he is, but I try.
Well, those are both great books, and they're pretty intense as well. How did you prepare for those episodes?
Well, I get up in the morning. I do my eye exercises. I move my eyes back and forth about 100 times just to get them ready for reading. And then through some extensive training and gourmet Folgers coffee, I'm ready to go. Get it in my cup, I get in my chair, get comfortable, put on some nice music, and I could just read the day away.
Right
that
on.
sounds perfect. So, Art, tell us who you're wearing tonight. Was this inspired by anything in particular?
Yeah, well, my suit was created by Lloyd Christmas. It's the classic orange tuxedo from Dumb and Dumber. Not really a Christmas movie, but with a name like Lloyd Christmas, you got to represent him.
It counts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then I've got my sparkly Santa cowboy hat on, which is my son's. He was in a jazz band over this last December, and they all wore these sparkly Santa cowboy hats. So I'm wearing that tonight for good luck.
Well, Art, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and we can't wait to see who takes home the Raddies.
Oh, yep, me too. Well, I've got stiff competition here, so really wonderful nominees, all of them are. So really good program tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, definitely. And congratulations again, Art Kilmer, and thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
More to come after this.
Dip into the holiday spirit with something new. McDonald's Holiday Chicken McNuggets in festive 9 and 20-piece packs. Tasty chunks of chicken and 2 new sauces. Tangy cranberry with a twist of orange and sweet apple spiced with cinnamon. Better chime in before holiday McNuggets are gone.
Welcome back to the Raddies Red Carpet Pre-Show. I'm Jerry D. once again. I'm here with the lovely Charlyn from Take a Chic Peek. Charlyn, we just had an exciting moment with Rad Santa on the carpet. What did you think of his outfit?
Well, Jerry, Rad Santa is always known for bringing the festive spirit. But I have to say, his red velvet suit with the white fur trim is really taking it to the next level tonight. And those Adidas, I love them.
Yes, Rad Santa always knows how to make an entrance. Speaking of which, let's bring him over for a quick interview. Rad Santa, how are you feeling tonight?
Oh, man, I'm feeling radical, man. It's pretty awesome. I'm glad to be here.
That's great. And you certainly are spreading some cheer with that outfit, Rad Santa. Now, can you tell us a little bit about it? Go right ahead.
Well, sure. I mean, I've been wearing this red and white for a very long time now, but I'm glad you picked up on the Adidas, because you see, kids always think that I'm wearing boots, right? And boots are fine, and they're great, but when you're about as old as I am, I'm 1,753 years old this year, and my old dogs, they're barking, and they need a little bit of love. So these Adidas, they are also red and white, which I think is totally awesome.
Well,
Yes.
it's a phenomenal look. Now, Rad Santa, we have to ask, who's on your nice list this year in the Christmas Podcast Network?
Oh, most everybody. I mean, of course, you've got Julia, and we've got Jerry, and we've got Tom, and earlier I saw Art. He's doing pretty well this year, and I saw Scott. He's doing pretty well this year. Some of the naughty folks are around too. Maybe we won't talk about them, but most of the people on the network are pretty good, I'll say.
You sure you don't want to talk about that naughty list, Rad Santa?
Anthony! Sorry, got a little soot in my throat there.
Well said. And we get your message. But finally, before we let you go, can we ask you what you're most excited to see at the Raddies tonight?
Oh goodness. Well, I'm pretty much enjoying all of these wonderful outfits. Everybody's decked out, pretty festive, and I like that. This red and green carpet is pretty awesome. boy, I don't know. I'm having such a good time, Jerry. It's hard to pick just one thing.
That's well said, Brad Santa. Thank you so much for joining us
Of
on the red and green
course.
carpet.
Oh,
It was a blast talking to you.
It's always a pleasure. And here comes Sean Sotka, who was nominated for Raddies TV show episode with Ken Kessler for Saturday Night Live. What did you think of his outfit?
Oh, Jerry, I have to say that Sean is looking quite dapper tonight in his sharp black suit and white shirt and those stylish black leather shoes. He's definitely dressed to impress.
Yes, he is. And speaking of impressive, here he is, Sean. Sean, congratulations on your nomination tonight. How does it feel to be here at the Raddies?
It's amazing, especially after all the years of COVID. Actually seeing everybody in person now, it's great to see everybody again. After only seeing them over Zoom, getting there in person, I love it.
Yeah, me too. And now we have to ask, Sean, what was your reaction when you found out about your nomination?
Well, after my what I got last year, I was actually surprised I got something actually pretty decent this year. I mean, I'll take any award. Last year's was still great, but I mean, just being nominated for this, I'm beyond high above everything right now.
That's right. You hosted the Technical Raddies last year, and I think you won for the Raddies Technical Raddie Award Show host. So that makes sense. But that's fantastic. I'm glad you're here. And can you tell us a little bit more about the episode that you were nominated for?
Oh, the Saturday Night Live skits. They had so many fun skits. Even some of the ones outside of your parameters. The biggest one comes is the Sweaty Balls. Those things, to me, it's not Christmas. You're not laughing your rear end off if you don't see at least 4 or 5 of those SNL skits. And Alec Baldwin just kills it. Not only in that one, he also had that one that he was the lead elf in there and coming in and motivating his other elves to work. I mean, seeing Adam Baldwin in there, seeing Hanukkah Harry, got to see him too. That's great. And then the family compilation. I mean, if you're not laughing at Christmas, I mean, you got to be doing something else and get laughter going. Not only the joy, they're serious, but you got to laugh too. You got to balance it.
Now, that sounds so fun. And what was it like working with Ken Kessler on this episode? Sounds fun.
Oh, Ken and I are both old radio people, so we go back and forth, and it's fun listening to somebody who's got the same mindset of radio and all that stuff with music and stuff like that, and he's also big into the TV stuff. I am too. It's like 2 peas in a pod. It's almost like long lost brothers we never knew existed.
I remember that episode, and it was a lot of fun. But before we let you go, can we ask you what you're most excited to see at the Raddies tonight?
What am I most excited to see? Basically, everybody in person. That's what I'm most excited about. Greeting them, high-fiving, shaking hands, hugging if they want to hug, or elbow bumping or whatever they're comfortable with. Seeing some faces I really haven't seen before because they don't want to be on the audio on Zoom, which is perfectly fine. I mean, you do you. It's great. But just putting faces to voices that I haven't seen and seeing all these familiar ones too, like Art, like meeting Matt in person. That was great. And always great to see you, Jerry. The Elvesman Tis the Pod. I mean, I'm a hype guy for every one of these podcasts. So just being nominated myself is just great.
And with that, I'm going to give you some finger guns, man.
Yeah, for sure. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing you more, Sean. And thank you so much for joining us on the red and green carpet tonight. And congratulations again on your nomination.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Sean.
Who's there?
The taste of nuts and honey, Mr. Scrooge.
Humbug. Better things to do.
But Mr. Scrooge, Honey Nut Cheerios, it's Christmas.
My customary gruel will suffice, thank you.
Yeah, but Honey Nut Cheerios blends golden honey and crunchy nuts.
I said, did you say honey and nuts?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
And welcome back to the Raddies Red Carpet Pre-Show, where we're moments away from finding out who's going to take home the coveted Raddies Texan Award.
And we've got a nominee with us right now. Let's welcome CM Chuck, nominated for Raddies Ensemble Episode and Raddies All-Star Episode for his appearance in 80s Christmas Wrestling.
Howdy, Charlyn. Howdy, Jerry.
Hey, Chuck, how are you doing?
I am doing well, sir. Getting nominated for Raddies Texas, pretty exciting. Had to bring the horse to get up here for this award this time, and wear the spurs and the I got the red leather chaps going here. So, and of course, I brought my Dave Filoni inspired cowboy hat, but I like that sparkly hat that I saw Art wearing earlier. That sparkly cowboy hat's got something going for it.
Yeah. That was definitely
For
something
sure.
else. Yeah.
Yes, loved it.
Yeah. Was that Versace hat? I don't know. Does Versace make hats? I don't even know.
I got no idea, man. But he looked good though.
So, Chuck, you're up for a few awards tonight. How does it feel to be a multiple nominee?
Oh, it's amazing, Jerry. On our show, Just Another Friday Night, we say we'd like to give you the Friday night feel, but the only night better, I gotta say, is the Raddies, and probably Christmas. You know what I mean, of course. But man, I gotta walk away with a couple of these last time around. It was pretty great, and I gotta say, being nominated for Raddies Texan in your home state, Jerry, is pretty excellent as well.
That's I had to retire the Raddies New Yorker award after Anthony won last year and gave a 7-minute speech. So I definitely had to retire it.
I might have dipped out for beer during that, I think.
I think you did, actually. I remember looking and seeing some empty seats there.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about 80s Christmas wrestling? It sounds like a really unique concept.
Well, Charlyn, I got to tell you, 80s wrestling is some of the greatest wrestling that was ever was. And Jerry has that magnificent way of bringing something even a hardcore wrestling fan, has forgotten about, which is these underground wrestling episodes that I was like, where did I miss this at during the 80s, around Christmas time? But they're always a lot of fun. You get a big group of guys in there, Royal Rumble style, you know what I mean? Talking over each other, giving each other chest chops, and just, not waiting their turn to try to get over and get that belt, that championship belt of 80s wrestling and here at the Raddies.
For sure.
Okay, so you and Double A have been together for a long time. What's it like working with him as a co-host?
Oh man, working with Double A is the absolute best, man. He is the consummate, perfect podcast partner. You know what I mean? He is the Macho Man Randy Savage to my Hulk Hogan. He's the Shawn Michaels to my Marty Jannetty. You know what I mean? And when it comes to, there's no bigger Texan, no bigger, pair of holsters that could be filled, with two big old mugs of beer than, Double A's. So to be nominated with him every time we come and do this show is just a real honor. He's the absolute best.
Yeah. Now, we've got to talk about your style. You always seem to have the most amazing outfits. Who are you wearing tonight?
Well, I already told you guys about my red leather chaps, but I got this custom green leather duster here, white fur trim there. I'll tell you guys right there. And then I had to wear the cowboy boots and spurs tonight because, of course, being nominated for Raddies Texan, I wanted to make sure I looked the part. And of course, like I said, this Dave Filoni inspired hat there is a little tip to nod to Star Wars. But otherwise, that's it. Just me and my noble steed 3030 rode up on here to represent the 80s. And I just can't wait to get in there and mix it up with all of you.
Yeah, I'm loving that jacket, man. Speaking of fashion, I got to ask, what's the secret to keeping those luscious locks of yours looking so fabulous?
Oh, man, I got to tell you, man, it's a lot of late night brewskis and sometimes a couple of whiskeys. You know what I mean? You know how we do it on Just Another Friday Night. We like to head over to the bar. So before you guys even ask what I'm looking forward to the most, it's that open bar at every Raddies that I come to. I usually end up holding it up, me and Rad Santa and Double A, till last call, and they get us out of there.
That's great. Well, we can't wait to see who takes home the Raddies Texan Award tonight, and we'll definitely be tuning in to 80s Christmas wrestling.
I can't wait to have you there. Jerry, Charlyn, I'm going to keep a shot of whiskey warm for you.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right. I think I saw Matt Spalding from North Pole Radio arriving now. Let's see if we can get him over here to just a quick little chat here. Matt.
Hi.
Please give a warm welcome to Matt Spalding.
Hey, Matt, how are you feeling?
Hello. I'm good. Thanks. Yeah.
It's great to have you here, Matt. You've been nominated for Raddies Miscellaneous Episode for your work on Star Trek, and also for that amazing Golden Girls episode. How do you feel about your chances of taking home a Raddie tonight?
Boy. Well, I'm not kind of a guy that tends to think I'm gonna win stuff. It's not like a pessimism. I just don't like get my hopes up too high, you know? So, I mean, I guess just as good as anybody else, really.
Well, you've had such an incredible career so far. Do you have any advice for aspiring podcasters out there?
Oh, yeah, I do, actually. Just kind of be yourself. Like, you know, the wonderful thing about podcasting, like I started my first podcast way back before just about everybody in the world had one. So if you're one of the people that doesn't have one yet, just kind of understand that, like, it's this amazing way to have a voice, and it doesn't really matter if like a million people listen or only like a handful of people listen. Like, somebody's going to want to hear what you want to have to say. So don't think you have to have like maybe necessarily like some unique new angle in. Just kind of, you're yourself. You're your own unique angle in, you know?
Wise words.
Great advice.
From someone who's been in the industry for quite a while. What's been your most memorable moment so far?
Oh, boy, I tell you what, on North Pole Radio, I've been pretty fortunate to have a lot of great guests on that show. On my other show, Two Broke Geeks, I've had on, I would say one of the biggest things in my life, was getting to interview Billy West. I thought that was a lot of fun. From podcasting, I've gotten to kind of know like a couple of my favorite authors. I talk to them semi-regularly. So, if you don't try things, if you don't ask, you're not going to maybe get some good opportunities. And just asking, has gotten me places where I've been able to talk to some pretty cool people,
Yeah, that's pretty great. And now, speaking of cool people, is there anyone here that you're excited to see tonight?
I'm excited to see everybody. I love the Christmas Podcast Network, man. Everybody's really cool. So yeah. I'm just glad to be hanging out with some people. Sean, I never really said hi to Sean too much before. And Art, I've talked to just once before in the past. We shared an episode together. Now I can't even remember which show we were even on together. But, so it's kind of nice to see the folks that I haven't seen very much. And beyond that, just everybody,
Well, there's been quite a lot of great fashion here tonight. Who are you wearing?
Oh, this is I started making my own puffy shirts in the past year, and so this one is a nice Christmas fabric. I sewed it myself. It is kind of based on kind of medieval Renaissance style, and then my festive green knickers here are not anything special, and the socks, they come from a place called golfknickers.com, and so they just look very elfish, and Christmassy, kind of along with my shirt I've got going on here.
Yeah, you look great. I love Christmas socks, so I love it. So, Matt, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and thanks for stopping by and chatting with us.
Of course. Always a good time.
Yes, thanks, Matt. And there you have it, folks. We'll be back with more from the Raddies Red Carpet pre-show after this commercial break. Is that Robert Nicholas I see coming down the carpet?
That's right, Jerry. We're joined with Robert Nicholas, who's been nominated for a technical Raddie for the Raddies Deep Dive for his work on Miracle on 34th Street. Robert, how does it feel to be nominated?
It's kind of overwhelming, to be honest, because this is the first time I've ever been to the Raddies. And, well, considering that I have only just started doing my show recently, now knowing that I finally got myself a Raddie nomination, I'm clearly doing something right.
Sounds like you were stunned by your nomination.
Maybe he's just too stunned by our setting outfits, Jerry.
I knew my Senate-inspired combat suit would be a hit.
But let's get back to the important stuff. Robert, tell us what inspired you to dive so deeply into Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, Miracle on 34th Street really holds up for a lot of people, considering the movie is nearly over 60 years old, and yet people still continuously tune back to it. Considering that I had just rewatched it again on Disney Plus, and I was surprised to see that it was one of the most downloaded things around. But along with just me really liking that movie, I'm also really into the whole history of different department stores. And with Macy's playing a big role here, it just made a lot of sense to put those two together and really conjure up a fantastic story on just how this wonderful movie was made.
So you're saying it was a Christmas miracle that led you to uncover all those hidden Easter eggs in the film?
Jerry, you're mixing your holidays.
Hey, I'm an equal opportunity celebrator. But seriously, Robert, what was the biggest challenge you faced while doing this deep dive?
It was probably filling in a lot of the gaps, considering that Wikipedia can only take you so far. And thus, even though the Internet Archive certainly helps filling in a lot of the blank spots I had trouble on, I really had to deep dive through that website to really make sure that all the lines connected and I was able to establish a fantastic story.
That definitely does sound like a challenge, but we're sure your hard work will pay off tonight. So, Robert, we have to know, who are you wearing? What are you wearing? Tell us.
I wish I would have gotten notice about the dress code, because I am hearing nothing but a Christmas t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops, but I am happy to be here regardless.
That's a man after my own heart right there. Classic, yet elegant. But we're not going to let you off that easily, Robert. Who do you think is going to win the Raddies Deep Dive tonight? Besides yourself, of course.
Oof, man. I have really enjoyed all the other nominees, to be honest, and I kind of wish I could share this award with everybody. Now, not that I'm looking to win tonight. It'd be nice, but I just kind of wish everybody would have the chance to win.
Hey, keeping it mysterious. We like it. Well, thank you for joining us, Robert. We can't wait to see who takes home the Raddies Deep Dive Award tonight.
Yeah, of course.
And don't forget to stick around for our exclusive backstage interviews after the show.
Wednesday, it's two best-loved holiday classics.
Good grief.
And good cheer. It's the Peanuts Gang's Christmas Spectacular. But what's Linus's secret of Yuletide spirit?
I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
A Charlie Brown Christmas. Then, 'twas the night before Christmas. Who can save St. Nick in the nick of time?
3 seconds to Christmas.
Wednesday. Will the Grinch hint Santa's biggest day? How the Grinch stole Christmas. Then the Man of Ice who will melt your heart. Frosty the Snowman. 2 Christmas classics Saturday.
All right, welcome back to the red carpet. We are here with the one and only CJ Belanger, who has been nominated for like a bazillion Raddies tonight.
You must be on top of the world right now, CJ. Congratulations on all of your nominations.
Thank you. You know, it's not easy being this amazing, but I'm glad to be here surrounded by such beautiful people like Charlyn, Jerry, and maybe Robert too.
But tell us, which nomination are you most excited about?
Oh, it's got to be our episode for, what is it again, Jerry? I forget the name, but we did Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It was one of my favorite episodes I've ever recorded in my life. It just flowed really well. And
it was a great one, yeah.
The movie itself was great. The company was great. You and Anthony were fantastic. That was probably the one I'm proudest, but I do love the ensemble one, the all-star cast, because we love talking wrestling. But it's got to be the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm very happy to be nominated, and I really hope I win.
Yes, now the competition is tough this year, but your episodes really stood out. What was your inspiration behind them?
My inspiration was normally John Candy being amazing for that episode at least. No, but honestly, my inspiration behind any episode, if that's a question you're asking, is just trying to have fun when I hop on. I always want to bring a good energy. I just always want people to leave the podcast feeling like they had a good time, because I always feel like I had a good time. So if you bring a positive energy, you'll be a winner. And tonight it proves it, because, I'm nominated for a lot because, again, I'm awesome.
Well, and you always bring the fresh perspective to the genre, but, we have to ask, which episode was the most challenging to produce?
Probably the one, the ensemble cast, because we can get, we can go a bit long, and we can go we can steer off track a lot, and I'm usually the cause of it. So that would probably be the most challenging part. I try to bring it back, but once I get on a thought, I can take it 10 miles one way, and it takes me a little bit to get back. But that's probably the most challenging part is my ADHD, I would say.
And speaking of challenges, you worked with some amazing co-stars for the Wrestling Bros episode. What was it like working with them?
Honestly, it was like being in a circus. And being the best looking and smartest one was the easiest part. But the hardest part about it was probably dumbing my intelligence down for the rest of the crew, I gotta say. I would say that's it, yeah. Like in wrestling, I like to play the heel. I like to play the bad guy, so we'll go with that.
Well, I know those were a blast to record, but let's talk about Raddies Thanksgiving episode real quick. That was the real hilarious one. It was a piece of art, just a real work of art. You can tell your love for John Candy. Why does he deserve all the praise?
Why not? He's iconic. He kind of showed his chops in that movie. Not only he's really known for being a funny guy, but when he has that scene saying, you know what, I like me, and like if you watch that scene and you don't get a ball in your throat or at least a bit of a tear, you don't have a heart. John Candy is just one of a kind, and we lost him too soon. I've told the story before, but my little brother was born March 5th, 1994, and John Candy passed away March 4th, 1994. And I remember being a kid and hearing that he passed away. And my mom was actually in the hospital having issues with my brother, and I was sitting there crying over the death of John Candy while not being as worried about my mom in the hospital with my brother. So John Candy's always been an inspiration for me as somebody who prides himself on trying to be funny, at least, depending on who you ask. But it was a great episode to record, and I can't say enough about John Candy, and I wish he lived longer, but he wasn't made for this world for that long. So, but I guess that's what made him even more special. He wasn't here for a long time, but he's definitely here for a good time.
Yes, I agree. And finally, let's talk about your raddest all-star episode, 80s Christmas Wrestling Part 2. Now, that one had everyone talking. How did you come up with the idea to combine wrestling and Christmas?
I think Jerry maybe came up with it, and I maybe sent him a YouTube video or two, and then he sent one back. And I always thought it would be good because he's always looking for content, right? So why not talk wrestling? And I think he kind of got in over his head in a way. He didn't realize the fandom that wrestling had with some people. We went probably like 2.5 hours the first episode, maybe. It was a little more than that, but I kind of just came up with the idea with them. But the first episode was a bit of not a train wreck. It probably was a pain in the butt for him to edit. I think I just came to him one day and said, why don't we do this? He's like, yeah, why not? 80s wrestling. And I think Jerry was kind of a fan back then. I think a lot of people were. Wrestling was different then. You had your Hulk Hogan's and your Macho Mans. They were iconic figures, right? So it's a little different now, but I think it was kind of Jerry's idea and mine. I think it was just like more of a cohesive idea that just kind of came up organically, which is normally the best kind of ideas.
I agree. And it really was. You were like, hey, what about this? And I said, perfect, let's do it. And I definitely had no idea what I was talking about. But CJ, we wish you all the best of luck tonight. We can't wait to see what the future holds for you. Future episodes of Totally Rad Christmas. And thank you so much for chatting with us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate it. No
Congratulations again on your nominations.
I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I'm happy to be here. You guys are looking fantastic tonight, like usual, especially Charlyn. Always looks great.
Doesn't she look amazing?
Gary, you always look okay.
That's what I'm known for.
You look good. You look okay. But yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to win and dominate these fools.
Right on.
That was such a fun interview. I can't wait to see if they take home the Raddy tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm speaking of Raddies, it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the 3rd annual Totally Rad Christmas Awards.
That's right, Jerry. It's time to see who's going to take home the most Raddies tonight.
And we have so many amazing categories this year, from Raddest Guest Duo to Raddest Beard. I can't wait to see who the winners are going to be.
And of course, we have some amazing hosts lined up to announce the winners.
That's right, Charlyn. We've got some of the biggest names in the business joining us tonight. It's going to be a star-studded event.
And don't forget about the performances, Jerry. We have some amazing musical acts lined up to entertain us throughout the night.
This is going to be one totally rad Christmas celebration, if I do say so myself. So sit back, relax, and let's get ready to hand out some Raddies.
Thank you all for joining us on the Red and Green Carpet pre-show, and we'll see you inside for the 3rd annual Totally Rad Christmas Awards.
Later, dudes.